highly infectious disease breaks out with a parasitic culprit behind it called the devil worm. The nature of this parasite is unknown, but the effects of it are horrifying, to say the least. It reacts with human body differently, transferring some into zombies called red-ends, and some into monstrous entities with special abilities. This causes the world to transition into different smaller settlements with highly protected and strong walls. Fort Hope, one of the many settlements, sends out groups they refer to as cleaners to make supply drops, collect supplies, clear out red ends, and run other errands. Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator. You can follow me on Twitter, where you can send me game suggestions and communicate with me. This video will contain spoilers. With that in mind, let's begin. The story starts with Walker, Evangelo, Mom, and Holly walking into a bar where Renfrick has been expecting them. When Mom is called by her name, Chris, Evangelo gets surprised, indicating that Evangelo might be a new member in the group, which is referred to as the Cleaners. Walker tells Renfrick that he needs to stop working for a guy called Phillips if he wants the supplies from them, to which Renfrick agrees and mentions that the group should as well, especially after what happened to Mom's son, Jason. They mention that despite their differences, Phillips is a good general in command who has been keeping them alive. All of a sudden, a horde of red-ends barge in and attack the group, killing Renfrick in the process. The red-ends are parasite-infected zombies who show extreme aggression and are very fast and agile, making them very dangerous. A while back, a team of scientists extract a strange worm from a crater in Penguillet National Park, which presumably was formed by a meteor impact from outer space more than 1 million years ago. The scientists then take this alien worm into their labs in Quebec City to study it. After running some tests, the scientists trigger the worm, which they will call the devil worm, which attacks the first scientist, who soon spreads the parasitic infection rapidly. The parasites find the inside of human bodies ideal as they flourish with water and can find the nutrients inside the human body. The infection soon finds its way to United States and possibly to the entire world, creating a post-apocalyptic world where communities form in small, secluded, and protected settlements. Meanwhile, the group encounters two special infected, a tall boy who has a large arm he uses as a massive hammer, and a Reeker who explodes after death, attracting more zombies if their guts land on the Cleaners. These are amongst many other special infected, who are the Stinger family, including the Hawker and Stalker variants, who are agile and very dangerous. The Tallboy family, including the Crusher and Bruiser variants, whose attacks include crushing. The Reeker family includes the Rich and Exploder variants, who attract more zombies after exploding as a result of death. The Sleeper, who sleeps in puddles and pins Cleaners to the ground. The Snitcher is a long-necked mutated infected who screams and alerts other red-ends when startled by the Cleaners. Breakers are large infected who take many bullets before hitting the floor. They are strong and extremely dangerous. And finally, the Hags and Ogres are boss class infected who are the most dangerous of all. As the Cleaners decide to leave the town of Evansburg and head back to their base, Fort Hope, in Fenleyville, they encounter never-ending numbers of red-ends, with special infected amongst them. Phillips on the radio announces to all the survivors outside that they are closing all routes to Fenleyville to keep the red-ends out, starting by taking out George Washington Bridge, which created an access across the Kanawha River, with anyone not back in a timely manner being left behind.
Over 2. This is Hope 1. Do you copy?
We're here!
Need all Cleaners back at the Ville. Pronto. Hard copy?
Yes, sir!
Hope 1 out.
With not much time left, and being put under immense pressure by the Red Ends, radio announcements by several survivors in the town of Evansburg indicate that this town used to be a functional community, keeping the Red Ends out, making deals with other surviving communities in different settlements, as shown by the cleaners making a supply drop to Renfrick, until hordes of Red Ends infested the town, making it uninhabitable, with the cleaners fighting for their lives now. Hence why Phillips made the decision to close all connections to the town across the Kanawha River to keep Fort Hope safe. As the group gets on a nearly collapsed bridge, they receive a radio call from Coach, who informs them that they need to hurry as they're about to blow the bridge, cutting all ties to Evansburg. The cleaners narrowly manage to get to the other side of the bridge when help arrives, and they together blow up the bridge. As they arrive in Fort Hope, they witness that it's struggling to keep the Red Ends out. After an arduous battle, losing many people, they manage to secure Fort Hope, where 4 other cleaners are introduced: Doc, Jem, Hoffman, and Carly, with Phillips being the commander-in-chief. Walker is a former Army Ranger with a wealth of frontline experience, hence why he acts as the leader of the group. Doc, as the name suggests, acts as the physician in the Fort Hope, whom the survivors heavily depend on. Mom, also known as Chris, is a strong character whose loss, being her son's death, made her have trust issues from commanders, yet she proves to be a powerful ally, being resourceful and good at combat. Holly is a young college girl who lost her family to the devil worm and found a new family amongst the cleaners, especially forming a strong bond with Mom. She wields a mighty nail-spiked baseball bat she calls Dottie and proves to be a reliable team player. Evangelo is a new recruit who doesn't have much field experience, but shows heart and strength every time he's faced with a challenge. Jem is a remarkable marksman who found his hometown ravaged by Red Ends after returning home from serving shortly at military. Carly is a lone wolf who trusts no one but herself, and that seems to have been working for her, as she has been surviving on the outskirts of Fort Hope on her own. She has been caught stealing and looting, but time after time, she has been proven to be an important element, helping Fort Hope and siding with the survivors. And finally Hoffman, who's always prepared for a battle. He's enthusiastic about the apocalypse and seems to enjoy it a bit too much. Is into conspiracy theories and seems to be one of those awaiting a zombie apocalypse for a long time, but his backstory proves otherwise. He was a man who secured a shelter with his mother until his mother passed away in her sleep. That gave him the desire to venture out into the devil worm infested world, where he found his family with the cleaners. After a short while, Phillips informs the cleaners that most of their survivors are still left outside and require extraction, to which the cleaners decide to go out and retrieve them. After saving several survivors outside, they secure a hotel nearby as a triage to keep them there. After saving as many as they can, they call for support, who loads them up in vehicles and clear them from the roads back to the fort. Shortly after, Phillips informs the cleaners to go to Blue Dog Mine and seal it, where apparently the hordes of Red Ends have been infiltrating from. In there, Phillips sent a team who couldn't handle the numbers of the Red Ends and lost communication with them. It's then that the cleaners show their opposition against Phillips, who requires people to be obedient without question, which Mom opposes and complains how blindly following his orders led to Mom's son's death, Jason.
The Redden have been showing up in increasing numbers around Finleyville, and I think I know why. We've identified what we believe is a major infected incursion point at the old Blue Dog Mine. I dispatched a cleaner team under Pelissaro to deal with this situation. Last transmission we received from them was that they were approaching the mine but facing heavy opposition.
John, why Pellicero? Don't get me wrong, he's great around camp, but he doesn't have the field experience we do.
Because I needed someone that followed orders.
Okay, so I may have made some mistakes first time out, but we got the job done. What else do you need?
I needed people I can trust. You want to earn mine again? Find out what happened to them, and seal Blue Dog Mine.
After sealing the mine and closing any entries, the cleaners head back to the fort where Phillips tells them to prepare for fighting again, as he doesn't want the fort to have the same fate as Evansburg. The cleaners are yet again sent for another errand to collect as much supplies as they can. After doing so, they get instructed by Phillips to extract a scientist called Dr. Rogers, who is close to a breakthrough, finding a solution to get rid of the Red Ends and save humanity. The scientist seemingly first intended to find a cure, but soon he changed his course into finding a solution which would seemingly destroy the Red Ends. After battling through hordes of Red Ends, the cleaners meet Rogers, who displays a weapon he has been developing in secret, which could make the Red Ends go extinct. The cleaners are then instructed to use T5 grenades, having the formula of Dr. Rogers, in a testing ground, which to the cleaners' horror is a mass grave where the commanders disposed of the dead bodies. As they secure the chemicals and supplies and get in a chopper, a gigantic monstrous entity called the Abomination emerges from beneath the ground, putting the entire town in danger. An ogre then appears and throws a meatball at the chopper, making it crash, with the cleaners thrown to the ground to defend themselves with all they have. After a challenging fight, they manage to bring the Abomination to its knees and incapacitate it. With a shimmer of new hope for survival of the humanity ahead of the cleaners and destruction of the Red Ends, they decide to track down all the abominations and destroy them, with the newly developed weapons by Dr. Rogers making it possible to decimate the Red Ends.
Things do you think are out there?
I don't know, but I intend to find out.
Cut that macho BS.
Somebody's got to do something.
And you're that somebody? So what makes you so special?
You do. All of you. Didn't say I wanted to do it alone, did I?
Hell yeah!
Fuck you and that silver tongue of yours.
Not much is still known about the nature of the devil worm and how it infects the body, making them mutate and behave the way they do. If you enjoyed this video, you can watch more by clicking on the cards on the screen. You can also stay tuned for more videos by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your host Star. Till the next video, have a fantastic day.